Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, it's another chilly, overcast day here in New York City, but it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the third game of a four-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Hasn't been a good first two games for the Yankees against the O's, and yesterday was tough. 14 innings into the night, over 5 hours, and the Yankees end up losing the game 7-3. Injuries, people leaving the game, reviews, things like that. It was wacky.
It was a long night of baseball. There were some crazy plays mixed in. And if you think back to the bottom of the eighth, when Didi Gregorius hits his solo home run to tie it up at 3, the Yankee Stadium crowd gets into it, and you think you might be able to pick up a win. 11th inning, the crazy play at the plate. Didi with the head-first slide, Givens with the block of the plate, and we're still all tied up. You fast forward to Joseph in the 13th, a great defensive play by Aaron Judge, robbing him of a home run, and then the big swing of the bat to end the game, basically. The grand slam off of the bat of Pedro Alvarez. A long night of baseball ends up in disappointment for the New York Yankees.
And now there's today. Today's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. Chris Tillman will get the start for the O's, and for the Yankees, it's Sonny Gray. Pitched well, but short in his first start. They need length out of him today.
They really do. After that long night last night, the bullpen is taxed. There's a couple of reinforcements here, but if you look at the line for Sonny Gray, the number that jumps out at you, only 4 innings, gave up 7 hits. He did strike out 8 in that game, and he walked 3, but really the theme of today's afternoon, pound the strike zone, get deep into the game, and give that bullpen a little bit of a break.
Now, we talked about the injuries, and there are plenty of them. Different variety of injuries, new players in as well. When we come back, Meredith Marakovitz will get you up to speed on everything right here on Yes.
I'm Meredith Marakovitz. The Yankees lost last night, a tough one for several reasons. 4 players exited early, and now today, 2 of those players find themselves on the disabled list. That brings us to today's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore, doing more. CC Sabathia exited in the 4th inning after suffering from some hip discomfort. He had an MRI last night, which came back clean. He was thinking that he wasn't going to wind up on the DL. However, this early in the season, the Yankees choosing to be cautious. Brandon Drury has been suffering from some migraines, and he actually said in the clubhouse today that he's had blurred vision for quite some time now. The Yankees want to do some additional testing that he'll have Monday, really find out what's going on with Drury. While he is out, Miguel Andujar will get the majority of reps at third base. So with those guys heading to the DL, there were some roster moves today. Peterson, Herman, and Luis Sessa all called up from the minors. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Sonny Gray gets the ball. Michael Kay with the call. He'll be joined by John Flaherty after the break.
Donuts, get excited, America. Dunkin' Go-Tos are here. 2 breakfast sandwiches for $2, $3, or $5. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. By Coke Industries. At Coke, we make things that make the world better. And by the New York Lottery, get out there and play. Right back at it. Last we spoke to you was earlier today, after midnight, as Eric Clapton would say, but we're back in the Bronx. The Yankees have taken the field. Let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup. Left fielder Trey Mancini leads off. The shortstop Manny Machado bats second. Jonathan Scope at second will hit third. Cleaning up center fielder Adam Jones. Chris Davis is first base. He's going to bat fifth. Batting sixth playing third base Tim Beckham. Pedro Alvarez, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth playing right field Anthony Santander. And Chan Cisco, the catcher, is going to bat ninth.
A little day game lineup after an extra inning game last night for manager Buck Showalter, and that lineup going to face Sonny Gray, finishing up his warm-up tosses. He's had 1 start on the year in Toronto. Pretty good, 2.25. Only went 4 innings in that game, 8 strikeouts. Well, look at our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And there was good news and a little bit of bad news. The 3 walks and the 4 innings of bad news. Yankees obviously looking for him to stretch it out today with the bullpen being used as much as it was last night and get some length out of Sonny Gray. And he's got great April numbers, a 10-3 record with a 2.52 in his career during the month of April.
Let's take a look at the Yankees defense behind Sonny Gray. It's presented by Geico. The newest Yankee, Jace Peterson. He is in left. Brett Gardner is in center, and Judge is over right. Stanton is the DH today. In the infield, it's Andujar, and he'll be there for a while with Brandon Drury being on the DL. Gregorius at short, Torreyes at second, and Tyler Austin's at first. Behind the plate, it's Austin Romine. And on the mound is John Detail. It is Sonny Gray. So a quick turnaround for both teams. And right back at it. Mancini ready. Gray is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Orioles are 3-5. Yankees are 4-4. Home plate umpire is Jerry Meals. Ben May at first. Ron Culpa at second. Ed Hickox is at third. There's a ground ball to second. Torreyes. 1 away.
Well, good start for Sonny Gray. Couple of fastballs and an easy ground ball to Torreyes. Only 2 pitches, and a lot easier to turn around this morning if you're the Baltimore Orioles. You get that win last night in 14 innings. You don't have the amount of injuries that the Yankees had. A lot of question marks in that clubhouse for the Yankees after last night's game.
Orioles put 1 man on the DL after the game. A little bit of a hip problem, Colby Rasmussen. They brought up another pitcher just to fortify the bullpen. Jimmy Yacobonis. He's a right-hander. Check swing and a slow roll up the first baseline. Grabbed by Gray. He'll make the play at first. 2 down. Let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 45 degrees, humidity 30%, wind is 8 miles per hour. Clearing during the game, and there's no rain. The lights are on here at the stadium because it is overcast.
It's 45 degrees.
Feels cold.
It feels colder than 45.
Here's Jonathan Scope. And there's a strike.
Well, you have a tough night like the Yankees did last night, a long night. Really what can settle you is your starting pitcher coming out and establishing the strike zone early, exactly what Sonny Gray has done.
Now, Gray's stuff is so good, John, that sometimes he nibbles on the corners, doesn't go right at you. And the Yankees are trying to convince him your stuff is so good you could go right at people.
Well, I was just thinking maybe the fact that the bullpen is so depleted will convince him he has to attack the strike zone this afternoon.
Fly ball. Shallow left center. Right there is Gardner. He'll put it away in a nice easy 1-2-3 inning for Sonny Gray, and he did it with just 7 pitches. The Orioles don't score. The New York Yankees coming to bat. Lineup against Chris Tillman. Brett Gardner's in center. Aaron Judge in right. Giancarlo Stanton will be the DH and hit third. Cleaning up, shortstop Didi Gregorius. Tyler Austin at first. Miguel Andujar is the third baseman, about 6th. Batting 7th just called up today. The left fielder Jace Peterson. Austin Romine behind the plate will bat 8th, and batting 9th the second baseman Ronald Torreyes.
Well, that depleted lineup is going to face Chris Tillman finishing up his warm-up tosses. 1 start. It did not go very well with those numbers. Look at our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. The first time through the rotation, every starting pitcher had a rough outing, and Tillman was right in line. 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 walks, did not strike anybody out. And he had trouble with the lefties last year. A .329 batting average against, 7th highest in the American League. Didi Gregorius is a hot hitter, and he's got great numbers against Tillman. 11 for 20, a .550 average with a home run.
Here's Brett Gardner, 6 hits and 33 at bats so far this year. Hitting .182. He has a home run, and that's his only ribby as well. 6 hits, 8 runs scored. Tillman deals. That one's inside first and down the right field line. Santander will fields the Karen cleanly, but Gardner with a double on the first pitch.
Well, when you face Chris Tillman, if you're Brett Gardner, you know you're going to get about 58% fastballs, and the velocity's not going to overwhelm you, only about 90 miles an hour. So Brett Gardner able to get the bat head out pretty easily and hammer it down the line. It's the leadoff double, and the Yankees are in business.
That'll bring up Aaron Judge. Judge had an RBI in yesterday's game, so he has an RBI in 13 straight home games. That's a Yankee franchise record. Obviously, it also dates back to last year. The major league record is 16 straight games at home with an RBI. Joe Carter did that with Toronto. High fly ball, right field. Santander toward the line, and he'll put it away. Tagging is Gardner. He'll go to third. Well, that wind really took that ball into the corner. Let's take a look at the Orioles defense presented by Geico. Mancini in left, Adam Jones in center, and you just saw Santander over in right infield. Beckham, Machado, Scope, and Davis. There's the first. Cisco behind the plate. Tillman's on the mound. Now, Manny Machado, Picayune, that you'd even be talking about this, went to the mound to pick up the rosin bag. Is that a trip to the mound? The umpire didn't signal it. Orioles are going to give up the run. They have the infield back with Gardner at third. One out. Boy, Stanton has seen a steady diet of that pitch over the first 8 games.
Well, I think you can take it a step further. Not only the breaking balls, but good ones. Down and away, down in the zone, swinging right over the top. Tillman did not strike anybody out his first start. Stanton looking to put the ball in play.
And there's a strike, 0-2.
That's the difference right there. When you get a hanger, if you're Stanton, you got to make sure you put it in play, because the opposing pitchers have been pitching him tough with the sliders down and away. Had a hanger right there and just took it.
One and two.
When you think back to last night's loss, there were some opportunities for this Yankees lineup. They didn't cash in when they had the opportunities, and it cost them at the end. Obviously, with a depleted lineup a little bit today, you got to take advantage of every scoring opportunity you can get.
Two and two. Stanton, 7 hits and 33 at-bats for a .212 batting average. Opening day in Toronto, he had 2 home runs. He has 3 overall.
We've seen Baltimore try to pound him inside with the fastball. Tillman doesn't have that type of velocity. Probably pitch him away.
3 and 2. Tillman was a late sign by the Orioles. Gave him a 1-year, $3 million deal. Last year was a tough year for him. He had shoulder issues. When he came back, he pitched to a 7.84 ERA. 4th highest ERA in the live ball era with over 90 innings pitched. 3-2. Stanton works a walk.
Good at bat for Stanton after being behind in the count 0-2. I'm going to preach this all day. When you only throw 90 miles an hour, a major league hitter does not have to respect the velocity. You can really wait to see the ball travel.
Well, here's Gregorius, 11 hits and 28 at bats. He's slugging .964. Early going, and very early, he's been the most valuable player for the Yanks. Hit the home run to tie it yesterday.
What a good feeling it must be when you're swinging the bat as well as Didi, and you have great numbers against Tillman.
This is what John's talking about against Tillman. 11 for 20, 7 of the 11 extra base hits, 1 of the 7 a home run, and 4 ribbies.
When you're a struggling player and you have numbers like that against a pitcher, you can't wait to get to the ballpark. And now that he's hot with those numbers, should be a good matchup.
Drilled to right field. That's a foul ball. Kept hooking. Lace the other way. Foul. Now after Didi in this lineup, a lot of kids. Obviously all with great potential, but this is not the A lineup the Yankees envisioned building this team. Austin, Andujar, Peterson, Romine, and Torres. One-two, swing and a miss. He gets Didi on the fastball upstairs, 2-away.
Big strikeout for Tillman. Elevates the fastball a little bit at 91 and just enough to get by Didi. Looked like maybe he was sitting off speed.
So here's Tyler Austin now. He has 3 hits in 19 at-bats. 2 of the 3 have left the yard, and both of those in 1 game in Toronto. Ground ball to third. Beckham across the diamond, and they retire Austin, and the Yankees waste a prime opportunity. No runs a hit and 2 men left. Let's go to the second. 0-0. Camry Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, what do you think about the new minor league rule that says all extra innings begin with a runner on second base? Rose Conk says there are not enough characters allowed on Twitter to voice my displeasure with this rule. Baseball has no time limit. Leave baseball alone. I wish I could just hug Rose Conk right now. What a great answer. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going.
Hugs and kisses today, huh?
Yeah, I'm in that mood. Here's Adam Jones. Grounded to short. Didi with the tough hop will get Jones for the first out. So we had it wrong. Gray did not have a 7-pitch first inning. He had a 6-pitch first inning.
Well, the good news for Sonny Gray, he's got some good action on that fastball, getting some ground balls.
Last year, he had the 2nd best ground ball rate in the American League at 53.2%. Only the Blue Jays' Marcus Stroman was better. And a bunt against the shift. Gray fields, and he'll get Davis.
Well, Davis struggling early, has had a home run in the series against Sabathia last night, but Sonny Gray, what an athletic play, getting over, barehanding it, planting on his back leg, and then the accurate and strong throw. Yankees will sign up for that every time. Davis trying to lay down a bunt, but a nice play by Sonny Gray.
Here's Tim Beckham, who yesterday had 5 strikeouts in the game. And we looked it up. The last guy to have 6 strikeouts in the game, former Red Sox prospect, and they thought he was going to be a big star, Sam Horn. So we wondered, 5 strikeouts is a platinum sombrero. What would 6 be? And James Smythe tells us a lot of people call it a horn because of Sam Horn. Right back to Gray, who fields his position beautifully. And that will do it. So Gray with 5 ground balls and 6 outs recorded in a row. Orioles go down in order. We go to the bottom of the second. The best network for streaming baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it. Miguel Andujar, who's going to get a run at third base. Now, the Yankees have some other options if they don't want to play him every single day, but he's going to get a run at third base. Brandon Drury, they're a little concerned, has had really bad headaches, migraines, and blurred vision, he told Aaron Boone today, since spring training. And Aaron just found out about it today. Nobody really knew. The trainers didn't know. And they're going to give him a battery of tests tomorrow to try to help him out.
Yeah, that's the part that's scary, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you said, okay, last night you had migraines and you weren't seeing, your vision wasn't good, okay, fine. And now it's been going on a couple of weeks.
So they are going to give him the full workup tomorrow, and hopefully they can help him out.
Meanwhile, Andujar, you see the numbers in the minor leagues last year, has kind of gotten off to a rough start, 0 for 12. Yankees believe he's going to be a big-time hitter, and we'll get a look at him at third base and check out his improvement on defense.
I asked Boone today about, Andujar seems a little lost up there. And he said, young player, really hasn't gotten his swing down yet. Now he's up in the big leagues, and he's trying to show something right away. He said it'll come. They have no doubt about him as a hitter, John.
Well, you remember last year, would he get 3 hits in that one game and was sent right back to the minor leagues? So I'm sure there's a part of him that's saying, I'm getting my chance now. I got to get some hits and try to stay here.
He's 0 for 12 so far. And again, with the injury to Drury, he is going to get his chance.
Well, listen, the book is out on him now. I mean, obviously, he went to spring training, hit all those home runs early on, and then started getting to be pitched to a little bit differently.
That one is served into center field. It's a base hit for Andujar. His first hit of the year.
Well, you don't put up the numbers in the minor leagues and drive in all those runs by just being a free swinger and a slugger. Got to be able to stay on some pitches, a breaking ball down and away. And you love the way the bat goes right back towards the mound, keeps the barrel in the strike zone for a long time, and just fillets a base hit into center field.
So here is Jace Peterson. He got called up today. And those numbers are in 89 games with the Braves last year. 27 years old. He was a first-round pick in 2011 by the Padres. This is his 5th big league season. Traded in the Justin Upton deal. And he can play all over. He's played left, second, third, first, shortstop, and right field. First at bat in the big leagues, he got a single off of Steven Strasburg. That was in 2014 when he was with San Diego.
You always imagine or think about how quickly these guys, their worlds change. Yesterday he's in Scranton getting ready. Now he's in Yankee Stadium getting his first Yankee at bat.
The screens that the Yankees have put up, and all of Major League Baseball has put up, some farther down the line than others. Yankees have really gone down the line. You have to wonder how it affects the game. I mean, leaning into the stands is not going to be an option anymore. Overthrows will not go into the stands anymore. They'll hit the screen and come back on the field. 2-1. 2-2. So that's something that we'll watch for this year. Now, a lot of people say, well, Jeter would never have been able to make that play in the John Flaherty game. And that's not true, because Jeter actually caught the ball in the field of play. He would have run into the screen rather than into the stands.
And it probably would have saved him some bruises on his face.
Yes.
Now, is that the ground rule, though? If it hits the screen and comes back in, it's a live ball.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's the case. Runner goes. Ground ball to second. So Andujar will go to second. Jace Peterson is out on the 4-3. The only thing I can compare that rule to, I mean, they put that fence up in front of dugouts, and the ball that hits the fence is in play. Otherwise, it would have gone into the dugout for an extra base.
Yeah, the only thing I would argue is that fence in the dugout is the same height as the fence around the lower fence. You know what I'm saying? The wall around the field.
Right, right. The 0-1. 1-1 on Romine. Yankees feel good about Gary Sanchez. They think they might have dodged a bullet with him yesterday. It looks like it was just a cramp. But, John, they said that he walked in today and he was really sore from catching that game. And you said that that's when it hits you, is the day after.
It's the day after. And, you know, obviously he caught all those pitches in the amount of time he was back there. But that was one of those nights where pitchers were all over the place. Sanchez was beat up. But I felt for this guy last night, too. Austin Romine sitting around for 5+ hours, and then he had to go in the game, and obviously it wasn't a factor. Alvarez hit that home run. But that's not an easy assignment for a backup player as well. Good opportunity for him here, behind in the count 1-2, runner in scoring position, catching Sonny Gray, who he has good numbers with.
Two and 2 on Romine. Romine 2 hits and 6 at bats.
The life of a backup player. Austin Romine had a great spring swinging the bat. And then you get into the flow of the regular season. Gary Sanchez getting the reps pretty much day in and day out.
Fouled away down the right field line. You know, we're efforting to find out the rule, but the more I think about it, John, if a ball goes over the dugout, hits the screen, and comes back onto the field, that's got to be out of play. I mean, the roof of the dugout is out of play. Maybe it's different in different parts of the ballpark.
What about the backstop? Yeah, ball hits the dirt.
Right back to Tillman, and they have Andujar hung up. So there's the second out as Romine reaches on the fielder's choice.
Base running mistake. You can say Andujar, obviously a young player. You have to make sure that that ground ball gets past the pitcher, gets hung out to dry, tries to stay in a rundown as long as he can. And again, the read's right in front of you. He takes 1 or 2 steps towards third, and that was enough. Tillman does a good job running at him. Baltimore executes the rundown, and Austin Romine could not advance to second base.
Here's Torreyes. Torreyes 1 hit and 7 at bats. No, we wondered what was wrong with Tyler Wade yesterday. It was that he was just ill. He felt really, really sick. And finally they took him out of the game, and He's kind of under the weather still today. A little bit of a bug going around the Yankee clubhouse. It seemed to manifest itself, John, when he hustled down the line. Maybe got a little sick to his stomach, but it wasn't anything muscle or anything like that. It was just that he just felt very ill. And that's why he has not been put on the DL. That's a fair ball. Inside third, kicks off the wall, played out there by Mancini. He makes the throw to third, allowing Torreyes to go to second.
Well, you think back to the first inning, the Yankees had a leadoff double, nothing to show for it. Now Torreyes hits this ball down the line, and Duhar, the base running mistake, costing the Yankees a run here in the second.
Well, again, another opportunity. They had first and third. One man out in the first. Gregorius struck out. Austin grounded to third. Now they have first and third, 2 outs, and here's Gardner. Nice block there by Cisco.
We saw Cisco the other night get a start, and he did a great job blocking baseballs in the dirt. That's textbook right there. The glove leads, the body follows. Torreyes gets credited with a double.
Ground ball to first, off the glove of a diving Davis, and it trickles into right field. 2 runs will score. Gardner is going to get in a rundown. And now he's just having some fun. He allows himself to get tagged out. But the Yankees have a 2-0 lead on the Gardner single. So they finally get the big hit right off the glove of a diving Davis. Romine scored, Torreyes scored. Yankees lead 2-0. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people, and by the Jeep Spring Sales Event going on now. All right, so Sonny Gray has a 2-run lead. Gardner gets 2 ribbies, and he is out 9-3, 6-4. They got him in a rundown, but a big hit for Gardner to give the Yankees the lead. Here's Pedro Alvarez. He hit the grand slam in the top of the 14th off Jonathan Holder, and Holder was optioned to AAA after the game, and the Yankees called up Luis Cessa and Domingo Germán, so they have 2 fresh arms in the bullpen. Three and 0 on Alvarez. And Alvarez works a 4-pitch walk. Meredith, you have something extra on Cessa and Germán?
Well, Michael, not only are they adding depth now, but those 2 guys are candidates to start in CC Sabathia's spot. Aaron Boone was asked whether or not they'll stay on rotation, and he said as of now, yes, despite that off day on Monday where they could push some things back, they believe they're going to stay in rotation. So one of those 2 guys will most likely get the start, but depending on how he has to use them will most likely depend on which guy they decide to go to.
His spot would come up Thursday Now, today is Saturday, and you could pitch Sonny Gray, a rested Sonny Gray on normal rest against the Red Sox if need be. Because of the off day on Monday, that allows you to maneuver that way. And that's one of the reasons why they felt okay giving CC the 10-day DL. I'm sure he wasn't pleased with it, but essentially you just missed one start. And if they play it without inserting another starter, the team doesn't really take a hit, and CC gets 10 days off. That's the beauty of the 10-day DL, which happened last year.
Yeah, you try to get that hip problem squared away within that window and get him back. And I think coming into the year, I don't think anybody was expecting CC Sabathia to make every start every 5th or 6th day. You just want to make sure that he's healthy coming down the stretch the month of September and then hopefully into the postseason.
Well, CC is a competitor, and you know, after he underwent the MRI and it didn't find anything of any significance, he felt he was going to pitch his next time out. I mean, it's a badge of honor as well for a veteran. Looped into left field, and Jace Peterson with the play.
Well, Michael, you mentioned that Peterson plays all around the diamond, came up as a second baseman. He can play the middle infield positions, all around the outfield, and first test that he gets, I mean, a nice running, sliding catch on a kind of humpback line drive off the bat of Santander.
Here's Chan Cisco. 3 hits in the early going. Well, yesterday's catcher for the Orioles, Caleb Joseph, was involved in a lot. He almost hit a home run, but he was robbed of it by Aaron Judge. Made a great play on the ball that got by him, and he backhanded it to Michael Givens. Then part of the rundown at third base, and it turns out that the umpires admitted after the game that they were wrong. They did not know the rule and that they were wrong. And then Cisco was asked, how did you know not to tag Stanton? And Cisco, Joseph, I'm sorry, he pointed to the manager's office. He said, he works on that in the backfield with us during spring training. We do it over and over and over again so the young guys know what the rule is.
And him admitting that made me feel a lot better, because I didn't know what the rule was. And actually, there he is enjoying his off day today. Mike Bordick, who does the analysis for Baltimore, the old shortstop, he admitted today he didn't know the rule. And we were taught run the runners back to third base, tag both of them, and let the umpires figure out the rule. But Joseph yesterday right away knew exactly what the rule was emphatic that it was a double play, and the umps admitted they got the call wrong.
Swing and a miss as Cisco goes down on strikes. Well, if you weren't up with us last night, here's the play. So Stanton's in a rundown. Joseph has it. Now Joseph is running him back. He doesn't tag Stanton because he's taught not to. They're always taught to tag the trail runner. Usually the runner in the rundown will go to the bag, and they're taught if you tag the trail runner and then that runner that you had in the rundown just goes off the bag a little bit, you have yourself a double play because he still owns that bag. There's a ground ball right side. It's a base hit for Mancini. Moving to second is Alvarez.
How about manager Buck Showalter going through that play in spring training so everybody's going to know about it? That's impressive.
And they say he goes over it constantly. Here is Machado. Had himself a night last night. A couple of home runs. Now, how about this stat? The last time anybody had 10 total bases and 2 walks against the Yankees, you have to go all the way back to 1933. Mickey Cochran hit for the cycle for the Philadelphia A's at Yankee Stadium. Now, a side note on that, Yankee legend Mickey Mantle was named after Mickey Cochran because that was Mickey Mantle's dad's favorite player. So a lot of people think that Mickey Mantle's real name is Michael. No, it's Mickey because of Mickey Cochran. Fly ball, left field. Peterson on the run, slides, and he can't make the play. It is in there for a base hit. Machado gets himself a 2-run double, and the game is tied.
Well, Machado came into this series, did not have a home run, did not have an RBI, and you knew it was only a matter of time before that was going to change. A great look at the spin and rotation on the breaking ball right off of the end of the bat for Machado. Didn't hit it on the barrel, but able to keep it fair, just out of the reach of a sliding Peterson.
Here's Scope. 1-0.
Austin Romine going to use one of his visits. In the first 2 innings, when you watch Sonny Gray, 11 pitches, pounding the strike zone, 5 ground balls, 1 fly ball. Now here in the third, a leadoff walk, and behind and counts a little bit more.
I have a question, John. I'm a bit confused. So yesterday the game goes into extra innings, and each extra inning gives you another mound visit. So if every extra inning is worth 1 mound visit, then why do you get 6 mound visits for 9 innings?
It doesn't make any sense. And you get in the first extra inning game and you start looking at all how it's slowed down at the end, right? Catchers going out, Larry Rothschild going out. It just doesn't seem to make sense. You got to pay attention to your mound visits early on in games, in the middle of games, and then it just seems if you get to the end in extra innings, it's a free-for-all again.
Yeah. Joe Walter said, I looked up at one point and we were leading in mound visits 10-2. He said, I felt like I had to use one. I think he ripped the cover off the ball there. Oh, yeah. Now, one of those veteran pitchers from the 40s and 50s would want that ball back.
You know exactly what to do with that. A scuffed baseball. Moving all over the place.
2-2. Ground ball, third, foul. Shouldn't it be a nice summer day if those are being brought to the seat? Popped up, and Duhar makes the play, and that'll do it. But the Orioles tie the score. 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Yankees 2 and the Orioles 2. April 23rd as the Yankees celebrate the 20th anniversary of David Wells' perfect game, and for one of the hottest collectibles of the season, it's David Wells bobblehead night, the first in the 2018 collectible series presented by AT&T. For the first 18,000 guests in attendance. Now, for tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Is that a great game you pitched? Yes, it was, right, David? Did you go out with Coney after that night? No, he's shaking his head yes. Aaron Judge takes a strike. Judge had a fly ball down the right field line, run down by Santander. That was in the first inning. 2-2 game. Now, Aaron Boone said before the game, a lot of things happened yesterday. You lose people. You have to use the bullpen. He said, but our guys know there's no excuse for today. He said you have to go out and still win and play hard. He said that's what people expect us to do. High fly ball, left field. Mancini is there now, comes in. One away. I guess what he's preaching, John, you can't have the woe is me. You can't feel sorry that you lost some players yesterday. You got to go out and win because that's what you're expected to do.
Yep, you got to go out there and try to rebound a little bit and facing some adversity, and for a rookie manager as well. You know, we asked Aaron in spring training how things were going. He said everything was great, but we really haven't faced anything that we have to deal with yet. Well, now lose a couple of games, a bunch of injuries stacking up, and you find out a little bit about your club.
Stanton swing and a miss. The Orioles shift for Stanton. Now Stanton will go to the other way, but there's 3 infielders on the left side. Stanton walked in the first inning. 7 hits and 33 at bats. 3 of the 7 have left the yard. High fly ball right field. And that'll make the seats. And the 1-2. Two and 2. 2-2 game. Bottom of the third. Yankees scored 2 in the second. Orioles answered back with 2 in the third against Gray. 3-2.
Well, you watch Tillman pitch, and I mentioned the fastball velocity not overpowering, just tries to get ahead and then nibbles out of the strike zone, trying to use a hitter's aggressiveness against him. Stanton has been patient, walked his first at bat.
And he walks in his second at bat. That brings up Didi Gregorius. Came up in the first inning, runners on first and third. He has great numbers against Tillman, but he struck out on a fastball up in the zone. Ground ball, grabbed there by Davis. There's one. And there's 2 with Tillman covering. 3-6-1 as Didi bangs into an inning-ending double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and because of this DP, nobody left on base. We're going to the 4th. It's a 2-2 game. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta. More destinations from New York City than any other airline. Good things come to those who go. Delta, keep climbing. Through 3 innings, Sonny Gray has thrown 33 pitches. The Yachty scoreboard shows you it's 2-2. Adam Jones will lead off. You know, you got Tillman on the mound and Jones at the plate right now. And you'd have to say that the trade that the Orioles made in February of 2008 is really one of the great trades in baseball history. The Orioles traded Eric Bedard to Seattle. They got back 5 players. 3 of them are Tillman, who's had good years for them. He's struggling now. Adam Jones, who's been a great Oriole, and George Sherrill, who at one time was an all-star for the Orioles. Well, you trade a guy who you really didn't have much use for anymore. You get an all-star center fielder, a serviceable pitcher, maybe a 2 or a 3 in the order, and a relief pitcher who could deal for a couple of years.
Well, I think great scouting by Baltimore, especially with Adam Jones. And remember, when he came over to Baltimore, came up in the big leagues, you could beat him inside with fastballs. And he cleaned that up when he got to Baltimore and just took his game to a whole nother level. Now, did Bedard get hurt when he went out there, or he was already hurt?
No, I mean, he had some bumps and bruises, but he got hurt, and it really was useless for Seattle.
And we just showed that graphic with all the power numbers for Adam Jones, and I never saw that happening when he came up. Like I said, he cleaned up the inside part of the plate with his swing, and all of a sudden, he's a guy who's hit over 30 home runs. Has been consistently in that 25 to 30 home run range. Plays a great center field.
Check this out, John. 5-time All-Star. He's won 4 Gold Gloves. He's won a Silver Slugger. He's been an outstanding player for the O's.
And a model citizen for that organization.
Great in the community. Does a lot of charity work.
I should actually say not only for that organization, but for all of Major League Baseball. Has handled himself very well.
Also was part of the Team USA in the 2017 WBC when they won. And the highlight of the tournament was Jones robbing his Oriole teammate Manny Machado of a home run as Jones goes down on strikes. Showalter was talking today, John, about how beautiful a part of the game was yesterday, and he said if he was doing a TV segment on it, he'd call it The Way We Were. And I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, our guy, our pitcher, hits Judge. He said it got away from a hit Judge. Okay. CeCe, veteran, does the right thing, plunks Chris Davis. Chris Davis doesn't say a word, just goes to first base. Doesn't say a word because that's what you do. Your guy got hurt, you guy got hit, our guy's going to get hit. He said then later, Chris Davis hits a home run off the guy who hit him and runs around the bases with his head down and doesn't show anybody up. He said that's the way the game used to be. That's the way it should be played.
Okay, I'm going to take it to another level. I'm not going to be Tommy Topper here, but it might sound like it. CeCe Sabathia went about his business perfectly in the way that he hit Davis, right?
Yep.
Hit him in a place where you're not going up and in at his head. That's called a pro doing it the right way in Sabathia, and Davis recognizing that, and you move on.
Ground ball to first. Austin steps on the bag and gets Davis.
So you and Buck Showalter really have some nice moments between you guys, huh?
Go back a long way. I've always said that when he was the Yankee manager and I was just starting out on the radio, you know, I had to do the radio pregame show, which was about a 4-minute pregame show. For night games, he would make me show up at noon.
No way.
Yeah. And then I would sit in his office and he would talk about baseball for 2.5 hours before the tape recorder went on. It was like a master class.
You were a young man at that point, though. You have a social life, don't you? Or didn't you?
I did after games.
Ah. Now you're talking my language.
I mean, Buck lives and breathes the game.
Yeah, but that didn't mean that the radio guy had to live it and breathe it with him. At noon.
There's a base hit to right center field. Well, before I started working with John Sterling, John would do the manager show. But when he heard that Buck wanted him there at noon, he goes, Michael, I think you'll do the manager show this year.
He's busy swimming laps at noon.
I think he's waking up at noon. He's somewhere back there, yeah. Here's Pedro Alvarez. We told you yesterday Alvarez grew up in Washington Heights. Kind of a long home run away from Yankee Stadium. Now, he went to Horace Mann, which is in Riverdale in the Bronx, and he was a 14th round pick in 2005 by Boston. They offered him $750,000, and he turned it down. And the people in the neighborhood got all over the family. How could you turn that down? So he ended up going to Vanderbilt. Then he became a first-round pick by Pittsburgh, second overall behind Tim Beckham, who went to the Rays and ending up signing for $6 million. So they made the right call, the family. Actually, he was teammates with the Pirates with the Yankees' Neil Walker. And Walker said that Pedro is probably the hardest working guy I've ever played with. And I learned so much from him. He's the epitome of what you want in a teammate. Ripped a base hit to right field. Beckham, round second. He's going to third. Judge plays it, fires in. They're waving Beckham home. The throw is not in time up the line. And an RBI double for Alvarez to give the Orioles a 3-2 lead. Very aggressive, with Beckham scoring from first.
That's Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach. Very aggressive, waving Beckham around the whole time. We'll take a look at this ball in the corner. Judge comes up with it in pretty good shape. You know, maybe double clutches there a little bit, but Tyler Austin flat-footed. Had no momentum going towards home plate and then yanks the throw. If you're Tyler Austin, you kind of like to see you turn your body a little bit, open up so that you can go right towards home plate. No momentum and yanks the throw. Aggressive base running pays off.
Santander takes a strike. Let's take a look at the exit velo presented by Spectrum Internet with faster download speeds and better performance. A well-struck ball by Alvarez, 110.3 miles per hour exit velo.
That's disappointing for Sonny Gray. You get 2 quick outs and then the 2 hits and the RBI base hit double.
Austin Fields takes it himself, retires Santander, and that'll do it. But the Orioles take the lead. A couple of 2-out hits, 1 run, those 2 hits, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees down 3-2. Here's Tyler Austin to lead it off. Pitch outside from Tillman. Audi scoreboard 3-4-0, leading 2-4-0. Fouled away.
Baltimore started their season 1-5, and the first time through the rotation the starters really struggled, but since they've come to Yankee Stadium, Manager Buck Showalter has seen his starters handle themselves a whole lot better the second time through the rotation. Talking to Andrew Kashner there, who had a quality outing first game of the series against the Yankees.
The 1-2. Missed inside. Swing and a miss. Austin down on strikes. And here is Miguel Andujar. Picked up his first hit of the season. We finally have a ruling on the screen, and it's kind of the way we surmised. If it's behind the dugout, the screen is out of play. But if it's on the field, you know, the seats down the line or in left field near the tarp, if it hits the screen and comes back, it is in play. So if it's behind the camera well or behind the dugout, it hits that screen, it's out of play. But again, if it borders the field, it's in play.
So treat it like the screen behind home plate
Yes.
that was previously existed.
And you know what? That makes perfect sense.
Sure it does.
Although you do change the game a little bit, because a ball that would have gone into the stands, it would have been an extra base, now does not go into the stands because of the higher screen. Ground ball, third base, Beckham. 2 away. Here's Jace Peterson. He grounded to second. That was in the second. And a strike. Bounced up there. It's about a 52-foot pitch. Still 1-2 on Jace Peterson.
Tillman going to that curveball, which he only threw about 8% of the time last year. Again, you watch him work through here in the 4th inning. Kind of picks his spots with his fastball, tries to sneak it by you, get you on your heels with a lot of breaking balls.
Swing and a miss. Peterson down on strikes. And the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We're going to the 5th inning here at the stadium. Orioles have a 1-run lead, 3-2. At the stadium, we go to the 5th inning, and the Yankees are trailing the Orioles by a score of 3-2 on the GMC scoreboard. Sonny Gray will deal 9-1-2 Orioles order. Cisco, Mancini, and Machado. Gray's at 53 pitches through 4. Pitch high. Grounded to second base. Torreyes will get Cisco. 1 down here in the 5th. Here's Trey Mancini. 1 for 2, grounded to second and singled to right, and came around to score on Machado's double. Nice play by Torreyes from his knees. Takes a hit away from Mancini.
Well, manager Aaron Boone has talked about Torreyes. When you watch him in batting practice, the way he goes all around the field, works on his craft. Saw him come in the game last night playing third, now playing second. Another look on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Third base is such a reaction position, but second base, with that ball hit as hard as Mancini hit it, Torreyes, great first step.
Machado takes low and away, 1-0. Machado, with his 2 home runs yesterday, now has 3 multi-home run games against the Yankees. And he's done that before his 26th birthday. The only player that has ever bettered that, you have to go back to Jimmy Fox. He had 4 multi-home run games against the Yankees before his 26th birthday. Swing and a miss. Machado down on strikes. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Sonny Gray. We're halfway through. Orioles 3, Yankees 2. Coors Light refreshing finish.
Well, the refreshing finish is the last pitch to Manny Machado, and it's going to be a breaking ball that kind of spins and sits there, and Machado swings right underneath it. Sometimes as you hit her, you expect it to go down and away. Your refreshing finish is a hanging breaking ball that Sonny Gray got away with.
You know, you look at this Yankee lineup, and one of the things that put the Yankees on such a high level when people were evaluating teams is how deep their lineup was, and then the depth that they have. But they have been besieged by injuries. GMC scoreboard 3-2-0s. And when you look at 5 through 9, it's either inexperienced or bench players. And in every sport, they go, depth is great until you have to play it.
This reminds me of my first year with the Yankees in '03. Remember the hitting coach Rick Down back then? And we kind of were going through the same type of thing, and he came out and he made a comment about how we're going to win with a B lineup as Austin Romine flies out to right field, and that always stuck with me. We'll show you how we're going to win with. I was in that B lineup. I was considered one of the B players, and you kind of take it personally if you're an Austin Romine or a Torreyes or a Peterson. Andujar kind of getting his feet wet, but we'll show you. We can go out there. We might not hit a couple of home runs, but we'll find a way to win this game. So we'll see how it plays out.
If you look at the people that have gone down for the Yankees, Hicks, Ellsbury, Frazier, all thought to be part of this team. Now Drury goes on the DL with the migraines and the blurred vision. And Tyler Wade, obviously, you know, really battling flu-like symptoms. Gary Sanchez leaves the game yesterday with cramps in his leg. There's a base hit for Torreyes. He's now 2 for 2. And CC Sabathia has to go on the 10-day DL. So on and on and on it goes. And, you know, every single person wearing pinstripes, so nobody's going to feel sorry for the Yankees. No. So you have to just pick yourself up and go. But it's a bit of a compromised lineup today.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where you really find out about the makeup of a club. You know, we heard in spring training how close this group is and how they get along with each other and all of those things. You go out and win a game today, maybe tomorrow, with a compromised lineup, all of a sudden those good feelings get even better because you know you can count on the guys who aren't in there every day.
Gardner takes a strike from Tillman.
It was one of the things that we always took pride in. The 3 years that I was here in New York, you know, Tony Clark was a bench player, you know, Enrique Wilson, guys like that, that we know we're not going to play every day, and we know the stars are going to do it every day, but you want to have the trust of your everyday players that when you do play, they can count on you. We'll see if it plays out over the next couple of days.
Even in the championship years under Torrey, you had an Andy Fox and a Clay Bellinger. You had a Homer Bush. Guys that when they played, they were ready and they produced.
And it might not be the same production. Like I said, it's not going to be home runs or, you know, dominating innings out of the bullpen, but it's you contribute in the way you know how to contribute, and you hope it's good enough to win a game.
Gardner is 2 for 2. Drove in both Yankee runs in the second inning with a single. Double on the first pitch in the first inning.
I think a common theme this year all around baseball is going to be starting pitching, trying to get through a lineup the third time. Obviously, Brett Gardner coming up for his third at bat. We'll see if Tillman can navigate. He's been able to kind of limit the damage here through 4 innings.
So his bunt takes low. 3-1. Aaron Judge is on deck. I left out one other person, Greg Bird. That was the first domino to fall. So they're missing people that when they designed the team they thought they were going to be playing. And Gardner works a walk, so he's been on base all 3 times. That moves Torreyes to second and brings up Judge.
There is Yankees right fielder.
That was a perfect situation for the Yankees right here. First and second, 1 out for Aaron Judge, who last year just beat up the Baltimore Orioles all by himself. He'll get an opportunity here, followed by Stanton. I feel like third time through the lineup might be a tough test for Tillman.
They're ready in the chambers. Nice block by Cisco. The runners will advance. Heads up base running, particularly by Torreyes, who took off when the ball hit the dirt.
Well, it's aggressive base running by Torreyes, and I say this all the time. If base runners knew how tough it was to block a ball in the dirt, scurry to pick it up if you're a catcher, and make an accurate throw, it is a tough play. First to block it, then to make an accurate throw. But also Brett Gardner on the back end paying attention to Torreyes and his aggressiveness. He was able to cruise into second base. Good base running all the way around.
And now a ground ball would tie the game as the Orioles, of course, play the infield back with 1 out. Second and third. Now we talk about the unproven players from 5 to 9. Well, the top of the order is, well, that's the top of the order you dreamed of. So Gardner has contributed. Judge has to step up. Stanton, Gregorius. 1 through 4, that's exactly where you planned it.
Yeah, give the big boys the opportunity, and Judge has a huge opportunity here.
Yankee offense has not been great in the last 4 games. They've actually won 2 of them, 5 for 29 with runners in scoring position. Two and 2.
Good take by Aaron Judge there. We've seen a steady diet of breaking balls, some sliders, a curveball there down. I mentioned this earlier. Tillman will slow you down with the off-speed stuff and try to sneak 90 miles an hour by you. Big thing as a hitter, don't get caught on your heels.
Still 2-2. Yankees have 5 hits, the Orioles 4, but Baltimore leads 3-2. Judge works the count full with Stanton on deck.
You talk about protection in the lineup all the time. Stanton giving some protection to Aaron Judge. Question is, will Tillman come at Aaron Judge and throw a strike? Does have first base open.
There's a ground ball. Machado makes the play. He gets the out at first. Scoring is Torreyes. Moving to third is Gardner. It's a 3-3 game.
What a play by Machado, and Aaron Judge is going to pick up an RBI. Give Tillman credit. He made a perfect pitcher's pitch. Too close to take. Aaron Judge not real happy. Take another look at it. Looks like a strike. Breaks down and away. Tough pitch to take, and Aaron way out in front. What a play by Machado. Gets out of the way of Beckham, and the strong throw from a 3/4 arm angle, and the impressive part how accurate it is, right on the money.
Here's Stanton, who has walked twice and takes a ball. 1-0. One and one. One and two. You said it earlier, John. They are really making those pitches on him. Sometimes you hang them. They're really breaking down and away. Fly ball left field. Mancini will make the play, and that will do it. But the Yankees tie the score. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. 5 in the books. It's a 3-3 game. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta. More destinations from New York City than any other airline. Good things come to those who go. Delta, keep climbing. And by Toyota. The Camry Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. We go to the 6th. Here's Jonathan Schoop. And there's a strike from Sonny Gray. 3-3. That's what it was until the 14th inning yesterday. Orioles won that game 7-3 off the grand slam from Pedro Alvarez. Schoop, fly ball to center and fouled out to Andujar at third. Right back to Gray. Bad throw, and off the glove of a diving Tyler Austin, so that's going to be a base hit. Oh, they give him an error.
We saw this type of a play early on, and Sonny Gray made a perfect play, barehanding and an accurate throw. This time, maybe rushes it a little bit, probably had a little bit more time than he thought. You can see he's off balance there. Austin does a good job just to knock it down.
Now, there are different official scores most days. Today it's Jack O'Connell. Yesterday, Jordan Spreckman. There was a slow roller back to CC Sabathia, who just misplayed the ball, and that guy was awarded a hit. This was a much tougher play. Jones is grounded to short and struck out. 1-0 count. Fastball in on the hands, fouled away.
Yeah, the fastball's had good life. It had good sinking action on it, and the pitch count in great shape. 66 pitches here in the 6th inning. This ball starts out away and really rides up and in on Adam Jones. Not so much sinking action, it just kind of runs in on his hands.
One and two. Two and two. Yankees 3 runs on 5 hits with 1 error. We just saw it, and the Orioles 3 runs on 4 hits. They have not committed an error. This Oriole lineup has some thump. Last year, 232 home runs, which was 5th in Major League Baseball, and they're without Mark Trumbo, who's on the DL. So they'll get more thump back in the lineup. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Jones down on strikes.
Well, Sonny Gray showing Adam Jones everything in the arsenal. The fastball's up and in, a breaking ball. Now the slider down and away, a little check swing. Perfectly located. Looks like a strike and dives out of the strike zone.
Davis takes a strike. Davis tried to bunt. Hardly ever does that against the shift. And a nice play by Sonny Gray. That was in the 2nd, and then grounded out to first in the 4th. Hit a home run yesterday against Sabathia. His first homer of the year. Still 1 and 2.
Davis, such a mistake hitter. If you make pitches to him, quality pitchers pitches, you will get him. When you make mistakes, that's where he makes his living with all that power. And Sonny Gray just made a mistake and got away with it. Davis, a pretty good swing, fouled it off. Romine sitting down and in, and it just spins middle.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on the throwing error by Sonny Gray. So Scope leads off first, held by Austin. Tim Beckham's on deck. And he ends up walking Davis. So that brings up Beckham, and we'll take a look at the G. Pitter scouting report.
We look at the scouting report on Tim Beckham. He had a rough night last night, Michael. You mentioned the 5 strikeouts, a career high for him. But it should be better day today, a sunny day. He's already had a base hit against Sonny Gray. Good numbers coming in. A couple of home runs, a batting average well over 450. And played in 137 games last year. That was a career high. The Orioles feel like they're getting a star on the rise in Beckham.
Well, Gray's pitch count was in great shape coming into the inning, but some long at bats, and now it's at 76. I mean, in their dream world, they'd love to get 7 innings out of Gray as he deals a strike to Beckham. Beckham tapped back to the mound, then a single to right center field, and he scored from first on Pedro Alvarez's double into the corner and right. There's a breakdown of the 77 pitches. He's been helped by those 3 single-digit innings. Luis Cessa just starting to throw. Oh, 0-2. Scopes at second. Davis is at first. 1 man out. Beckham taking a long time to get in the box.
If you're Sonny Gray, obviously ahead in the count 0-2, you're looking for that strikeout, and a couple of ways to go about it. Mentioned that 2-seam fastball can run it in on the hands of Beckham. If he doesn't swing at it, you're opening up the outside part of the plate for that good curveball or slider. Sonny Gray likes to go with that backdoor sinker down and away. That's a possibility for a ground ball.
Tapped. Back to the mound. Gray will make the out at first. The runners move up. Now runners on second and third for Alvarez.
You love the location on an 0-2 count. It's a ball, and if Beckham wants to swing at it, that's probably the best that he can do. And again, we've seen Sonny Gray gets off the mound in great shape. A good athlete, was a high school quarterback. Was able to make the play.
So 6-7 in the Oriole order. Beckham and Alvarez, actually the first and second picks in the first round in the 2008 draft. Alvarez doubled in the 3rd run for the Orioles in the 4th inning. He also walked and scored in the 3rd.
When you watch a series, we haven't seen a whole lot of Alvarez. Obviously the grand slam last night, which was the difference. He's had good at bats today. The walk, the double you talked about. So he looks like a hot hitter for Baltimore right now.
Chop foul. You mentioned the top 2. Then it was Hosmer, Brian Mattis, and Buster Posey. That's a pretty good top 5. Although Beckham, obviously a disappointment for the Rays, seemed to find himself when he came over to the Orioles last year. He's just 28 years old, so a lot of career in front of him. Alvarez is 31. He was drafted out of Vanderbilt.
2 Vanderbilt guys going at it here, Sonny Gray
yep.
and Alvarez. Baltimore has really done a good job at 2-out hitting in this game against Sonny Gray.
Two and two. And the pitch. Blocked by Romine, keeps the runner at third. Three-two. Fly ball left field. Peterson on the run, and he makes the play and hits into the wall for the final out. Saving a couple of runs. No hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. Peterson, the full extension. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Didi Gregorius will lead off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gregorius is 0 for 2. He struck out and wrapped into a 3-6-1 double play. See if they turn Gregorius loose on 3-0. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. And Didi walks on 4 pitches, so the walk part of his arsenal so far in the early going.
I was just thinking that manager Buck Showalter's got to be very pleased with his starters in this series. The 3 games they've done a good job of keeping his team in the ball game after struggling the first time through the rotation. But now things are going to get interesting with that pitch count at 88 for Tillman.
Tyler Austin 0 for 2, grounded to third and struck out. 1-0.
The Yankees used so many relievers last night, and the same thing for Baltimore and Buck Showalter. 5 relievers last night. It was Adam Warren getting loose in the Yankee pen.
The only man on the 25-man roster that did not get into the game yesterday other than the starters. Starting pitchers. And now Roger McDowell with a trip to the mound. Tillman's at 90 pitches. About 50-50, which is not the best ratio, but he certainly does not seem wild.
Pitching around the strike zone, trying to get ahead, and then throw a lot of pitches out of the zone, trying to get the Yankees to chase. And there's no action in Baltimore's pen, so it looks like they're going to get going now. I'm thinking there's a Roger McDowell conversation like, you got to get going here in the 6th.
This chiropractic telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Saw him yesterday. Former Yankee Richard Blyer is up. So 2-0 on Tyler Austin. He's grounded to third and struck out. Fly ball left field. Mancini on the run. He's going to play it on the hop. Didi, good base running, is going to third. He'll make it. First and third for the Yankees. Nobody out here in the sixth.
We'll take a look at the swing of Tyler Austin. He's out in front a little bit and just hooks it in front of Mancini. And you're right, Michael. Good base running by Gregorius. The play is right in front of him, so there's no need for Didi to look to third base coach Phil Nevin. This is his read all the way. Good aggressive base running, nice aggressive head first slide.
Here is Miguel Andujar. 1 for 2, single to center, grounded to third. He's 1 for 14 so far, and it's a fly ball to right field. That'll get a run in. Santander makes the play. Tagging is Didi. He'll score. Throw comes into second, and the Yankees have a 4-3 lead.
You get some production, right? Tyler Austin gets his base hit. Andujar, a young kid, struggling to get it going a little bit this year. It's a nice job of situational hitting. Get a ball up in the air to the middle of the field. Sac fly, RBI. Yankees take the lead.
Here's Jace Peterson. Grounded to second and struck out. Fouled away. In on the hands and fouled away. 0-2.
Kind of looks like it's the swing of Peterson, and we saw it in spring training. Really stays inside the ball, works the middle of the field the other way. Doesn't have a whole lot of power. His game looks like hitting line drives the other way.
One and two. Grounded foul. Yankees have 6 hits. The Orioles have 4. Third game of this 4-game set. The Orioles have taken the first 2. Two and two. There's a base hit up the middle for Peterson. Austin moves to second. So first and second, one man out for Romine. Let's see if Showalter has the hook with him. 98 pitches for Tillman. Buck standing on the bottom step in the area where he would come out to get him. And now he retreats, so he's going to let Tillman face Austin Romine. Grounded into and out of the Oriole dugout. Tyler Austin at second. Jace Peterson is at first. One man out, one run in. Yankees lead 4-3, bottom of the sixth. Oh, nice play by Cisco.
We've seen Cisco block some balls in this series, but this is just an athletic play going to the backhand, and you saw Tillman miss by 2 plates there. Just reach for the backhand, hope that the ball finds your glove, and it did.
A trip to the mound by Cisco to talk with Tillman. Austin Romine, a .264 hitter in his short career with runners on base. Shortens the swing a bit, tries to make contact, does pick up hits.
When you're a backup player, you know you're not going to get that many opportunities. You want to get those big hits when you do. Heading the count 2-1. Austin Romine, you're probably thinking something out over the plate and soft.
And that one gets past Cisco as the runners move up.
Well, Cisco made one great play. He couldn't back it up with another one. And again, Tillman missing by a lot. Way off the plate, down and away as Cisco was setting up in. Another wild pitch. Now, if you're Austin Romine, an even better situation to hit. Second and third, 3-1 count, the infield in. Just make sure you get a strike.
Yankees up by 1, looking for more. And the 3-1. 3-2. Torreyes is on deck. Fouled the back on the check swing. Romine grounded into a fielder's choice in the second. Later came around to score on Gardner's 2-run single and then hit a fly ball to right in the fifth. Three-two, staying alive.
And the best swing he has had this at bat, a fastball in, and Austin Romine was ready for it, fouled it straight back. Good swing, just missed it. Now you got to hang in there, really battle.
Popped up right side, not an easy play whatsoever. And it's dropped by Davis. Tyler Austin scores. Peterson will go to third. Yankees lead 5-3. in and out of the glove of Davis on the retreat.
Another look on Yesmo. You can see him looking over his shoulder. Has it in the glove, and it just pops out. Austin Romine will take it. An RBI base hit. Almost a great play. Just can't hold on.
So a ribby for Romine, a base hit, his third of the year. Yankees lead by 2, and Buck Showalter will go to the bullpen.
Of the game is Blyer going through his warm-up tosses. Look at Blyer in the numbers. Be his 5th game, 1-0 with that 1.80 ERA, 1 walk and 1 strikeout in 5 innings. Blyer, one of the relievers who worked last night, an inning and 2/3. First batter he will face, Ronald Torreyes, having a good afternoon. Double, a single, a couple of runs. Batting average at .333.
And Torreyes swings and misses. Torreyes 2 for 2 today. I scored 2 runs. Tillman went 5 1/3 through 106 pitches. 5 runs so far. The 2 runners on base, his responsibility. Grounded to third. There's one. And they turn the double play, so Blyer gets the job done. A 5-4-3 double play. But the Yankees take the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits with 1 man left. We go to the 7th. Yankees up by 2. Tomorrow afternoon, catch another clash with the Orioles as the Yankees close out their first homestand of the season. Start your game day at noon with Audi batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame. Then we'll call the series finale right here on Yes and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Mike Wright Jr. will get the start for the Orioles, and for the Yankees, it'll be Jordan Montgomery. Again, we start at noon. First pitch right around 1:07. So the Yankees go to the bullpen and bring in Adam Warren.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how manager Aaron Boone navigates now that he's gone to the bullpen with Warren. Obviously, you mentioned, Michael, he didn't work in last night's game. You got to believe Sessa's available, Herman's available. You wonder about David Robertson.
Robertson is available.
And you worry about Chapman. Is Chapman available to close this out if they need him?
And Boone said he thought he was. I think Robertson only threw 10 pitches yesterday, so yeah, he'd be the guy who pitched the 8th. Cadillac scoreboard, 5-3 Yankees lead. So Warren will face Santander.
And obviously you can watch Adam Warren here in the 7th. If he has a clean inning, looks on top of his game, you can possibly bring him out for a multiple inning situation. Well, we're kind of managing old school up here, right? But it's all about matchups. It's all about Robertson against certain matchups or Warren against certain matchups.
But you might have to revert to old school because some of those matchups are out the window now because of sheer exhaustion. You don't have all of the pieces on the chessboard.
This is where Adam Warren's such a valuable piece of your bullpen. He can pitch the middle of the game, give you multiple innings. He's pitched at the back end. The greatest luxury for a pitching coach and a manager for a bullpen guy is knowing he's going to come out of the pen throwing strikes. And Adam Warren has made a career of doing that.
Michael, you guys were talking about Aroldis Chapman. Aaron Boone did not like what he saw during the game yesterday. He actually went out to make sure that Chapman's arm was okay. I spoke to Chapman in the clubhouse after the game, and he said physically he feels fine. He was asked about the fact that his velocity was down a couple of ticks, and he said that is not a red flag for him at all. He said maybe do a better job next time warming up, but it was cold out, but was not alarmed by the fact that the velocity wasn't as high as it was the night before. And Aaron Boone today, when he was asked about it, said Chapman is okay. We talked it through, and we feel comfortable putting him back out there.
Well, we might see him in the 9th inning then.
Don't you feel we've seen this from Chapman before, where there are innings where you think maybe he's not feeling right, and then after the game everything's fine? Remember a game at Fenway Park, it was a situation that happened like that.
Now, a couple of pitchers, Boone went so far to say, would probably not be used today and tomorrow. One of them is Kane Lee and the other one's Green. So he's trying to rest them for 2 days, which would be 3 days, because Monday's an off day before the Red Sox series. 0-2 on Chance Sisco. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Sisco picks up a single.
A situation there when maybe the shift costs the Yankees as David Robertson's starting to get going in the Yankee bullpen. See Torreyes playing Sisco really to pull. If you're playing straight up, that's probably a play Torreyes is able to make.
So Larry Rothschild will take the slow walk out to the mound, and this is more or less just giving Robertson time to get ready so they could go to Robertson, I think, for Machado.
Machado must like that matchup.
So Warren will face Mancini with 1 out and 1 on. Yankees up by 2. Mancini is 1 for 3 today. Single and a run scored. Just got called up today, Jimmy Yacobonis, with Colby Rasmus put on the DL with a hip problem. Strike, 2-1. Top of the 7th inning here at the stadium. Two and 2.
Love that pitch right there. Even if it's a fastball count, 2-1. Adam Warren going in on the hands of Mancini. We've watched him drive the ball the other way for 3 games. Figuring a 2-1 count, he's going to look for the ball that over the plate. Great pitch by Warren in on his hands.
punches it the other way. It's a fair ball. It'll go into the corner. Playing it out there is Judge. Cisco will stop at third. It's a double for Mancini. Second and third, one man out. Machado coming up.
Well, for 3 days, Mancini has hit the ball to the right side of the field and maybe up the middle. Well, this is a nasty pitch by Adam Warren and just a funky swing that Mancini just flips it down the line. And that's as good as you can do if you're Adam Warren. Down and away off the plate, and Mancini able to cover it.
Aaron Boone has made the signal for David Robertson. Robertson against Machado. The tying runs at second base here in the seventh. For a showdown with the Chicago Bulls. Coverage tips off at 7:30. Watch the Nets on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's David Robertson. This will be his 5th game, and he comes into a big spot. Yankees lead 5-3, but the Orioles have runners on second and third with one man out. And one of the best players in the game coming up, Manny Machado.
Yeah, one of the best players in the game who's having a good series is starting to pick it up a little bit. A double and a couple of RBIs tonight. Here are the numbers against Robertson in career. 1 for 7, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks.
Cisco's at third. Mancini is at second. And a strike.
If you're David Robertson, obviously you like the numbers 1 for 7, although it's only 7 at bats, but you do have first base open. You can make pitchers pitches throughout this whole count.
Dials up the fastball there, 0-2.
First pitch breaking ball, second pitch fastball, and it's elevated a little bit up out over the plate, and that's just right by Machado. So many options now. You can bounce the breaking ball. You can go another high fastball if you want.
So he bounces one, the count 1-2.
Great look at the rotation, and Austin Romine getting down in perfect position. Well, you might want to see that right knee down, but he got away with it.
One, 2. 2-2. Jonathan Scope on deck. David Cohn made it clear the other day, 2-2 is not an even count. Strike 3. Fastball right down the middle. Machado down looking.
Let's take a look at the pitch by pitch. David Robertson against Machado. First pitch breaking ball backs up, but it's a strike. Fastball up and away right by him. There's going to be a couple of curveballs in the dirt. Good block by Romine. Another good block by Romine. Fastball is supposed to be up and in. It ends up down and in. And David Robertson gets the call.
Fast pitch speed analytics brought to you by Fios. That was 93 miles an hour. Pitch to Scope. Here's a strike. Oh, and 2.
David Robertson has it going on today. Fastball has a little bit of hop to it. The breaking ball looks tight. Middle of the plate and then just disappears. And Austin Romine caught a piece of the bat on the backswing.
Did he go? No, he did not.
Take another look from the side. Give Robertson credit for executing down and away, and Scope some credit for being able to hold up. Pitch to lay off.
And the pitch. 0-2 on Machado. He worked at 2-2. 0-2 on Scope. Now he's at 2-2. Scope has faced Robertson 6 times without a hit and 3 strikeouts. Cisco still at third. Mancini is at second. Yankees lead 5-3, top of the 7th inning at the stadium. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Houdini works his magic again. Comes in second and third, 1 man out, strikes out Machado, and then strikes out Scope to get out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left at the end of 6.5 innings of play. Get up and stretch. Yankees lead this one 5-3, but we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Army Private First Class Anthony Venditti from Middlesex, New Jersey, who served in World War II. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
By your local Nissan dealer. 5-8-1 Yankees, 3-6-0 for the O's. Tillman went 5 1/3. He allowed all 5 runs. Sonny Gray, 6 innings for the Yankees, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Gardner, a big day, 2 for 2, a double, 2-run single. Manny Machado, 1 for 4, a 2-run double, but that big strikeout at the hands of David Robertson in the top of the 7th that Bob and Jack just spoke of. Jimmy Yacobonis will come on. See his numbers from last year. And the pitch to Gardner's outside. One and one. Cadillac scoreboard 5-3. 2-2. Two.
See Brett Gardner looking up at the scoreboard, looking for velocity. When you face a guy like Yacobonis, you really haven't faced him a whole lot. Just got called up. That good changeup with some action down and away at about 88. A nice job by Gardner just to foul it off.
Well, you know that Gardner sees a lot of pitches, and so does the team. Now this season, Phillies have seen the most, 4.41 per plate appearance. Then the Cardinals, Yankees, Indians, and Astros. So of those 5, 4 are expected to be playoff teams.
There's some talk about that man leading off sometimes this year, and then you watch Brett Gardner and what he does day in and day out, just grinding out at bats, elevating pitch counts, kind of setting the tone for this lineup.
And Gardner works a walk. He's been on base all 4 times. And we go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz with an update.
Next up for the Yankees, the right fielder, number 99, Aaron Judge. Number 99.
And the Yankees will see the Red Sox starting on Tuesday at Fenway, a 3-game set. Here's Aaron Judge against Yacobonis.
It's so deflating for Yacobonis. A 10-pitch at bat, and Brett Gardner able to work a walk. Well, you have to face Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton with a runner at first base.
The 0-1. 1-1. Judge got an RBI on a ground ball to short. Nice play by Machado. That was in the 5th inning. And that actually put the Yankees up 3-2. Tied the game at 3, I'm sorry. And then they went ahead 5-3 with the 2 in the 6th. Judge is 0 for 3. And this was his 14th straight home game with an RBI. That one is laced into left field. It's a base hit. It'll go to the wall. Mancini plays. Here comes Gardner. Here's the throw. He's in there. Another RBI for Judge, and it's 6-3 Yanks.
Well, this is what Brett Gardner brings to the table. A 10-pitch at bat, works a walk, and gets on base for Aaron Judge. We've seen a lot of backup sliders today, just kind of sitting in the middle of the plate, and Aaron Judge isn't going to miss that. He hammers it into the corner in left field. Mancini up with it. Third base coach Phil Nevin, aggressive call with Gardner, and he scores easily with that head-first slide.
The Yankees scoring their 6th run. You get 50% off all regular menu price pizzas tomorrow at papajohns.com. Just use promo code Yankee6. tomorrow at papajohns.com for 50% off all pizzas. Stanton has walked twice and a fly ball to left. So again, with the two ribbies today, 14 straight home games dating back to last year. That Judge has had at least one run batted, and that's a franchise record. And the Major League record is Joe Carter, as we mentioned, 16 straight games for the Blue Jays in 1994. Fly ball, right center. Jones is there, will make the catch. Tagging is Judge. The throw, not nearly in time. So there you have the list. These are all home games. Mauer and Gonzalez with 15. And now Judge and Roy Campanella at 14. But he has the Yankee record that he had owned previously alongside Tino Martinez before yesterday's RBI. Didi Gregorius due up. They intentionally walk him. So 2 walks today for Gregorius, and that's going to bring up Tyler Austin. Austin's 1 for 3, had a big single. Got that 6th inning rolling after the walk to Didi.
The middle to the bottom of the order has contributed. Austin with his base hit, and Duhar a base hit, a sac fly, and RBI. Peterson a base hit, Romine an RBI, Torreyes a couple of hits.
Strike. So the Yankees with 9 hits and 6 runs on the bottom of the 7th inning. Robertson, who got out of the top of the 7th, looks like he'll pitch the 8th. Nobody up in the Yankee pen. Just clipped the outside corner, and Austin doesn't like the call. 0-2.
Tyler Austin doesn't like the call. Home plate umpire Jerry Meals has been generous this afternoon. Maybe clips that front corner.
Judge leads off third, and Didi off first. Tyler Austin to the plate with 1 out. Yacobonis, third Oriole pitcher, deals the 1-2. Foul back. Right in on the hands and fouls it over the Yankee dugout. Runner goes. Big jump. Again, foul back.
Take a look at Didi. Takes off before Yacobonis even starts moving down the hill. A great jump, and Tyler Austin just had to fight off that tough pitch.
Miguel Andujar is on deck, so Austin battling in this at bat. The Yankees looking for some breathing room for their exhausted bullpen. The 1-2. Announced crowd of 34,388 here on a chilly Saturday afternoon in the Bronx. Runner goes. Missed outside. A stolen base for Gregorius.
Didi doing it all this year, hitting home runs, walking, stealing bases, and a look at that slider that just misses down. Good pitch.
Line to left field, it is a base hit. Judge scores. They're waving home Didi. Here's the throw, it's cut off. And they get Austin trying to go to second, but a two-run single for Tyler Austin, and the Yankees are up 8-3.
What an at-bat for Tyler Austin, fouling off tough pitch after tough pitch, and probably got a break on the slider. That was a pretty good pitch, didn't get the call, tries to extend it into second base, is tagged out.
So Austin is out at second, 7-5-4. But he picks up his fourth and fifth RBIs of the season. And Andujar with a pop-up on the right side. Davis makes the play in foul territory, and that'll do it. But the Yankees add 3 runs on 2 hits and nobody left on base. We go to the 8th.
Center stage with Michael Kay as Emmy-winning actress and New York's own Sarah Jessica Parker sits down to discuss some of her iconic roles. Premiering Tuesday at 11 o'clock following Yankees Red Sox coverage only on Yes. Can I try that again?
Please.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Got it. Nailed it. She's probably watching the game. She's a big Yankee fan.
Big David Cohn fan, I heard.
Very big. Hyundai scoreboard 8-3, Yankees over the O's. Adam Jones against David Robertson. 1-0.
You enjoy me having a tough time reading those, huh?
No, I don't.
You seem to enjoy it. Had a little chuckle.
No, because yesterday you made the same misstep.
I butchered it yesterday and I butchered it today. You would think our producer would pay attention.
I guess he didn't want me to read the promo for my own show, so.
You promote everything else about yourself. You can read that promo.
Wow. Ground ball is short. That's hurtful, but we'll move on. Look at a trivia question to try to settle things down in the booth. Giancarlo Stanton became the second player ever to be traded after hitting at least 50 home runs the previous season. Who was the other? Hank Greenberg? Ralph Kiner?
Mark McGwire. No, did he hit 50 with Oakland?
He hit 49 in his rookie year, I know. Late 90s. Count 0-1 on Davis. There haven't been that many people hit 50 home runs, so. One and two. Swing and a miss. Davis down on strikes. And this player that we're looking to find out who got traded was a teammate of yours on the then Devil Rays.
Right, I'm noticing a trend here in the last couple of games, right? I read promos that I butcher back-to-back games, and I have no idea about trivia questions.
Greg Vaughn?
He was traded? I thought he signed as a free agent. No, signed as a free agent to Tampa Bay. I know that for a fact, but maybe traded. Traded from Cincinnati to the Padres, maybe? Brewers to the Padres? Who knows? Oh, gosh. We're leaking oil coming down the stretch.
The thing I don't like, though, John, is that they're picking out questions that they want you to seem like you should know, and then when you don't know it, it hurts you.
It knocks you down.
Yeah.
A peg.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Beckham is out, and the put out is 2-3, and perfect. 5 batters, and Robertson struck out 4 of them. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and we'll try to find out the nastiness that John directed toward me. Stanton became the second player ever to be traded after hitting at least 50 home runs the previous season. Who was the other? Now, we found out it was Greg Vaughn, and they decided to print the bottom letters really small. 50 home runs for the Padres in 1998, and then traded to the Reds.
Great teammate, Greg Vaughn.
You didn't remember him, though.
I remembered him as a teammate. I didn't remember him getting traded from the Padres after I was already gone from there, by the way. They traded me away in '97.
Now, Jim Thome had 52 home runs for Cleveland in 2002, but he signed with the Phillies as a free agent. Nestor Cortez Jr. deals to Jace Peterson.
Played with Greg in San Diego. You see the numbers for Cortez Jr. and in Tampa Bay. One of the things that he used to do to get himself right mentally before a game, he had 50 home runs on a video each swing. So he would go in there about 45 minutes before the game and watch the 50 swings, ball jumping off his bat into the seats, and go get him. Positive frame of mind. Pretty good idea.
It wasn't so much that he was looking for the swing path. He was just feeling good about it.
Positive reinforcement.
Nice.
I think you should try that with maybe 50 of your see-you calls before you come into the booth. Get your mind right.
Yeah, but I have to find 50 good ones, so I don't know if I could do that. I thought I'd take the shot before you did. 2-2. Oh, nice catch by a fan. Doesn't have a baseball glove, but he has gloves on. Nice. 3-2.
Full extension.
Popped up, left side. And it hits the warning track. Bounces into the dugout. You ever catch a foul ball as a fan?
Never. I caught a foul ball as a broadcaster.
I know you knocked Lorenz out.
You don't have to bring that part up, but you asked me if I caught a foul ball, and yes, I did. As a broadcaster, not as a fan.
John sounds like somebody who worked 5.5 hours yesterday.
A little tired, a little cranky. Was up early for an AAU basketball game in your neck of the woods, across the street from Fordham.
Nice. And how'd your son do?
They did very well. They won a couple of games. He played well. It was pretty cool for me. I was actually driving from the game past Fordham on my way to Yankee Stadium and past Andrews Avenue, where my grandmother used to live. In the parish of Tollentine. Brought back a lot of great memories as a kid.
Peterson works a nice walk to lead off. And here's the catch that you made at Safeco Field.
Talk about self-promoting. Sorry, Bob.
Bob's really never been the same.
Our relationship's never been the same.
Very skitterish after that. Bounced up there to Romine. Romine, a bloop single just off the glove of a backpedaling, well, really an over-the-shoulder run by Chris Davis. That was the last batter faced by the starter, Chris Tillman. A strike.
What I was thinking about today as I drove past Fordham, George Washington University is going to be on their way to play Fordham, as you see Luis Sessa getting ready. Going to play them in an Atlantic 10 baseball series the weekend of April 20th. Might have to check that one out.
Maybe we should go together.
I'm sure you're working that weekend.
I don't know. I'll have to check. Fly ball right center. And a lunging play by Santander for the first out. New York City FC is undefeated in 2018. Wednesday, NYCFC looks to continue its red-hot start as they take on Real Salt Lake. Watch coverage on Yes 2 beginning at 7, presented by Etihad Airways and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Also, the match will re-air later that night on Yes after Yankees coverage. George Washington, Hall of Fame. John Flaherty. You don't look that different.
The eyes looked a little slanty in that picture, didn't they? It was out of Fresno State, I think we took those pictures my freshman year.
He might have been tired. Who knows?
I was tired.
Ground ball to third. And Torreyes beats it out. Torreyes has 3 hits now and 4 at-bats. So valuable coming off the bench for the Yanks.
Well, he does it all, makes the plays in the field, and this is going to be an infield hit. Gets down the line in pretty good shape to throw up the line. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to go foul. Stays in fair territory.
Now, Beckham is the one that had moved from short to third because Machado wanted to play short. And they asked Beckham about it. He said, I'm going to work my backside off to be the best that I can be, and I'm going to shoot for the stars, and hopefully I'll land on the moon. Here's Gardner. And a strike. Gardner's been on base 4 times. A couple of hits, a couple of walks. In the background, you can hear the crowd doing the wave. One and two. Two and two. First and second, one man out. Yankees lead 8-3. 8 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. The Orioles 3-6-0. Soft ground ball a second. There's one. They will not get the double play as Peterson moves to third. And that'll get Aaron Judge in at bat. Judge 1 for 4, a couple of RBIs, also a run scored. You know, we mentioned Greg Vaughn earlier. Here's a fact that connects him to the Yankees. In July of '97, Vaughn was traded from San Diego to the Yankees for Kenny Rogers and Mariano Duncan. But Vaughn had a torn rotator cuff, and that canceled the deal. He ended up being fine. He had the 50 home runs in '98. But the Yankees ended up using Rogers to get Scott Brosius from the A's. Runner goes, throw to second, and they're in a rundown. So here comes Jace Peterson, and they get Peterson in a rundown, and he'll be tagged out. So that will do it for the Yankees in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We go to the 9th inning. 5 of the game as we go to the 9th inning.
Well, the Land Rover drive of the game in the bottom of the 6th is going to be the rare sacrifice fly by Andujar. Driving it to right center. That broke the tie, and the Yankees have been able to open it up a little bit since that point, but that was your Land Rover drive of the game.
The scoring on the final out of the 8th inning was 2-4-2. I do have to say this one thing as Luis Cessa comes in. Why would you run a play like that with Aaron Judge at the plate? I know it's 8-3, but you know it could be 11-3. Why would you ever take the bat out of Aaron Judge's hand? Here's Pedro Alvarez against Cessa. Cessa called up after last night's game. Yankee bullpen yesterday threw 207 pitches in 10 innings pitched. So they needed reinforcement. So they called on Domingo Germán and Luis Cessa. Swing and a miss. Alvarez down on strikes.
Well, here's the play you're talking about. Brett Gardner running, gets caught up in a rundown trying to let Peterson score from third. It's not well executed, and the thought behind it, you're right, Michael. Aaron Judge standing at the plate. One swing of the bat obviously could do a lot of damage.
Santander fouls it off. Santander is 0 for 3. Fly ball, right center, cutting over is Gardner, and he makes the play. And the O's are down to their final out. Immediately after the final out, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame, as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry have highlights and analysis of today's contest. Meredith Morakovitz gets reaction from the clubhouse, plus a preview of tomorrow's series finale. It's only on Yes. There's last chance, Cisco. And he takes outside from Sessa.
This will be a really nice bounce back win for the Yankees after that long night and that disappointing loss, all the injuries. Quick turnaround, a lot of production from everybody in the lineup. Sonny Gray gave the Yankees some length. David Robertson was fantastic.
Yankees are a strike away. Swing and a miss, and Sessa works a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and the Yankees bounce back from a painful loss to win 8-3. Yankees now have 5 wins on the young season, and 4 of them have come by 5 or more runs. And they have certainly been able to hit the baseball in the games they've won, and they've struggled in the games they've lost. Good game for Ronald Torreyes. Didi Gregorius with a couple of walks. And the Yankees can take a deep breath despite the injuries and the 14-inning loss. They bounce back and they win this one by a score of 8-3. So much more to come from here in the stadium, but first, we're going to go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are going to set the table for the rest of this day. Guys?